Well, hey, y'all. Happy Wednesday. I am excited to be back with you. Goodness, it feels like it has been a while since I've been live, and it has. I think it's been 2 weeks. So, giving everybody a chance to join in. I'm so excited about this episode. I think it's going to be extremely helpful to so many of you that are looking. So, as you are joining, if you'll drop me in the chat where you're joining from, would love to know that. It does look like we're fully connected and streaming now on Facebook, on LinkedIn, and YouTube. So I will be checking the chat for questions and comments along the way. Just a bit of housekeeping. If you are joining on Facebook, find my little thing here. If you will put, go to StreamYard.com/Facebook, give the two permission to speak to each other. What this does is if you leave me a comment, it doesn't just say Facebook user, and I am able to respond to you. So if you would take the time to do that, I would be very grateful. Otherwise, you'll be known as Facebook user. So thank you for that. And just some introductions. If I am new to you and you are new to me, let me tell you who I am. My name is Beverly Smith. I am the founder of Career Success Strategies. I'm also, y'all, the former owner of a staffing and recruiting firm. So I know firsthand what hiring managers are looking for. And I use that knowledge now to help mid, senior, and executive level professionals build their resumes, help them with their LinkedIn branding, help them with their job search and interview strategies, all so they can land the career of their dreams. So, like I said, I've been MIA for a couple of weeks. Lot going on in my family. Birth of my new granddaughter, Sophia. So excited, y'all. She's so cute. I am in love. And unfortunately, we also had the unexpected passing of my sweet niece, Jenya Bailey. And that was a little bit much. But anyway, it's all good, and I'm back, and thank you so much for extending me some grace. I feel like I just kind of was missing in action on LinkedIn. Little Sophia, she actually was not due until this week, so we did not expect her to arrive as early as she did. So it's just like all this seemed to have happened in my life at once. But I did not forget about you, and I have been working behind the scenes, and grateful to the clients that are currently working with us as well. So, and it's always good to have a team that backs me up and supports me. So, last time we were together, we did talk about using LinkedIn for career growth. And one of the things that we specifically talked about was that LinkedIn can be used even when you're not job searching. And I love LinkedIn. We're going to talk a little bit about LinkedIn as well today. I will try not to get on a big soapbox about it because I have talked about it in other videos. You can find last week's and some of those other videos on my YouTube channel. And I've got it right here below at Beverly Smith Resumes. So join me over there and be sure to click that little bell so you'll know every time that I do post over there. But I've got a whole lot of great information as well as last week's episode. It's going to be on the live tab, so it may be on the front screen. I'm just going to be real honest. YouTube's not my ball game. And I just like to have the library of all my videos there so that I can refer to my clients. So I know they are all underneath the live tab. So if you click them, you can binge watch them there. So that being said, let us jump into today's topic. We are going to be talking all about why Q4 is the perfect time for you to start your job search. I mean, seriously, you don't have to put this off until January. You are not spinning your wheels or wasting your time if you start that job search now. So that being said, let's dive into 5 reasons why. And then I'm going to follow that up with 3 action steps that you can get started with now. So This is not going to be just an informational, but you are going to walk away with things to help you get started. So 5 reasons that this is a great time. First of all, budget allocations for hiring. So many companies are finalizing their budgets and their hiring plans for the coming year, and it creates a sense of urgency for them to get open roles filled before year end. So, in other words, some companies will have a use it or lose it budget, and their fiscal year is ending in Q4. So, if they have not used that hiring budget and they have specific needs, they do not want to lose out. So they are actively still recruiting. And you can rest assured that even though for a lot of us or a lot of other businesses, maybe things are slowing down and Q4 is not, kind of a slower time, I can assure you my experience, and sorry, I'm having to plug in real quick. Okay. My experience has been that there are going to be those companies that say, nope, we're not slowing down. We are still actively trying to recruit and get people in. So you definitely want to take advantage of this. Also, in preparation for the new year, there's going to be companies that are looking over their budget. They are strategically planning for Q1, and hiring managers may aim to lock in those candidates and get them onboarded in Q4 so that these different areas within the company can hit the ground running and be off to a great start for the new year. So those are just a couple of examples of why for budget allocations, it is a great time. Here's another reason. Number 2 is less competition. So seriously, there are a lot of people that just don't think that this is a good time of year for whatever misconception they have, or maybe they have their own personal reasons. It may be that, maybe that they don't want to miss out on a year-end bonus. So they're just not even going to search until sometime in Q1 or Q2 of 2025. So they're out of the running and they're not in your way. Additionally, some people have firm holiday plans or travel plans, and they don't have the flexibility to reschedule. They may actually assume that an employer may not be flexible with them, a new employer, and they might frown on that. So all that makes the job seeker pool a little bit smaller. And it's a great thing for you to take advantage of. Now, just a kind of a side note here, I'm going to tell you that there are going to be employers that if you've got that vacation scheduled with your family already and it's been on the books, don't think that might be a complete deal breaker. I have seen many employers be willing to negotiate on vacations. It may be that they would like to start you in January 1 anyway, or maybe they say, okay, come on board with us right after Thanksgiving and then go ahead and take your vacation, and you can negotiate that in. Also too, don't be small-minded about that bonus. There's a lot of employers that do signing bonuses, and that's something that can be asked for in salary negotiation. So not going to spend a lot of time on that, but I just want to kind of plant those seeds for you there. Third reason why this is a fabulous time, and let me just real quick check. Let me hide that. I did not realize. Let me check the comments and see. Well, hey, Luke, it's so good to see you here. Glad you are joining us. So third reason for this being a great time of year for you to start your job search is the networking opportunities that you have that are available to you, just sheer nature of holiday events. Also, too, I know a lot of you may have kids playing sports. So you may be spending time sitting in a stadium or an arena, watching your kid, or they are involved in other activities. and you have the opportunity to network with other parents. So this is great. And let me just say, networking, it, some people get this misconception that when I say networking, it's like, okay, what can you do for me? And it's all kind of almost like a very selfish thing. And that is not what I mean about networking. Networking is truly about having genuine conversations with others. It is not about what you can do for me, but instead, we're talking about building relationships, having authentic conversations, and helping other people get what they want. Um, for more on networking, I will say I have done a lot of videos on this. And again, you can go to my YouTube channel and binge watch some of those if you want to. But just know that you're going to be attending probably lots of holiday, whether it's with family or events. These are great networking opportunities and a great way for you to just learn about other opportunities. So, again, I'm not going to get into all the particulars on doing that. I have covered that in some other videos. You're welcome to go back there, or, if you work with me, those are some things that we can talk about as well. So, number 4 is year-end transition. So, a lot of times people who are in executive leadership roles, this is when they start to phase out, is at the end of the year. So they may be retiring, or the company may be transitioning them to another role. And just the year end makes a good logical time to move someone into that role. I have seen that many times. I've seen some of my friends go through that, and bringing that new person in December while that previous person is phasing out. There can be some overlap and some training. So really a good time for companies to be looking, and they're going to need to replace, those organizations are going to need to replace these roles very quickly, just to ensure that there is that smooth handover. And just those leadership, having those high impact roles, those are ones especially that I see being impacted by year-end transition. So number 5, held up 4, number 5, hiring momentum. So employers often want to wrap up before the end of the year and have new hires ready. So we kind of talked about this a little bit already with budgeting, but even just budgeting aside, that may not be a particular impact, but it may just be that for strategic reasons, they want to get this thing wrapped up and have new hires in place. So in January, we can start the onboarding and training and really make sure that we're ready to go, and we're not spending the first 6 weeks of Q1 trying to fill these positions. And really, that's really strategic on their part, because it's going to help them better reach goals and things like that that they may have been planning in Q3 and Q4 for the upcoming year. So, all right. So just kind of a quick recap. We talked about the 5 reasons, and that is budgeting allocated for hiring. There is less competition. We have more networking opportunities during the holidays and even just the fall season. We have year-end transitions in leadership and just that hiring momentum. So the next thing I want to move into is I want to give you 3 action steps that you can implement now to start the process, because you may be going, okay, great, you've got me sold here. I'm buying that this is a great time. What do I do now? Well, the very first thing that you have to do is you really need to get clarity on what your career goals are. It is really important for you to reflect on what you truly want in your next role. reflect on things like industries, responsibility, what that culture is going to look like. So I was going to say, I speak with a lot of folks that they're ready to make this change in their career, and they may even feel like they are being led to do so. But I get that they feel like it's a bit scary and a little bit daunting. I've been through that myself, so I understand. My very first recommendation to you, if this is you, if I am speaking to you, the very first thing I'm going to tell you is you need to spend some time in prayer about this, and you need to ask God for his guidance and his will in your life. And just be very open. He will prompt you on these things. Trust me on this. Um, get a pen and paper or a journal. If you like to journal, you're going to love what I'm about to tell you. If journaling sounds a little bit try it. I promise you, it's just a great way, especially if you've started the process in prayer, because you want to journal on those things that you're being prompted or led to. Um, I have a video on this. It's actually I think it is the very first video that I ever did on my live stream. So again, go back to my YouTube channel, and it is full of journal prompts. And I'm not going to go over them here because in the interest of time, I don't want this live stream to get way too long. But there are several prompts. Also, just make sure you journal too on things that you want to leave behind as well. But it's real important that you get that clarity, that you have a feeling on where you want to go. Also, I will say too, in that video, I talk a little bit about the research process. So there's a lot of research and things like that that you can do as well. So step number 2, if you are in management, whether you're a mid or senior level, if you are a top sales professional, or if you're an executive, it is really in your best interest to invest and work with a professional resume writer. And yes, this is what I do. My team and I do. But here's the deal. You most likely have many achievements. Okay. And you are going to have probably an extensive work history as well. And so really knowing what to put in there can get a little bit confusing. So when you work with a writer, one of the things that we do is we take a real objective look at your skills, at your experience, at your accomplishments. And then we analyze with how that matches up with your goals, or the type of role that you're wanting to move into, the industry, maybe you're wanting to transition. And so what we do then is we can determine what of those things really needs to be included in your resume, and what of that we can take out or need to leave out. Also, too, like if you are transitioning to a new industry, you have those transferable skills. I promise you, they are probably there. Showcasing how they translate over, or they transfer over into those other roles, is going to be really important on your resume. And because we want those people that are looking at your resume to read it and go, oh, yes, Joe is a perfect fit. I really would like to see, even though he hasn't quite been doing, he's got these things over here, and that's really what we're looking for. So being able to showcase that. What we do next is we will customize your resume to make sure it meets the industry standards that that are relevant to what those fields that you're applying for. And we also get to that. So I guess what I kind of jumped ahead of myself. I don't think I even mentioned. So step number 2 is to work with a professional writer and maybe a job search strategist. So that's, again, what my team and I do. I get that you're not frequently looking for a job, every month or every year, and you're not always in tune to like what's happening, how things have changed. So one of the things that when we work with our clients is we help them understand what job searching looks like, what are some strategies they can implement, and not only that, but also as well as interview strategies, those types of things. So that is going to be very helpful for you. But here's the deal. It is important that you invest in working with someone sooner than later. Resume development takes time, as does job searching. So we don't just spit out a resume, just go and take your information and plug it in to AI and spit out a resume for you in just a matter of seconds. It's actually quite a process, and it takes time to go through that process and just do the research and make sure that your resume really speaks to who you are and the type of role you're looking for. Same thing again, job searching takes time, and you can expect that it's probably going to take 90 days if you've got a good strategy. So, again, this is why it's so important to get started. I believe in Q4 if this is your goal to make a change sometime in 2025. So number 3, your third action step is it is time to spruce up your LinkedIn profile and get established on LinkedIn with your thought leadership. So you want to optimize your profile. There are so many tools that LinkedIn has available. I know some of you have followed me for quite some time on LinkedIn, and you know that I talk about LinkedIn a lot. If you are new to following me, I talk about LinkedIn a lot, and I think it is quite helpful. It is like a secret weapon to you. And so LinkedIn gives you a lot of tools that you can optimize your profile. The reason you want to do this is recruiters are looking for you. There are a lot of jobs out there that are not even advertised, and LinkedIn is a great way to find those. And so optimizing your profile can allow recruiters to find you easier, and without, you may be wanting to search confidentially, and you can optimize your profile and do this without just setting out alarm bells that I'm looking for a new job. So hopefully that makes sense. And it's something that my team and I can help you with, but just some off the top headline. You want that little headline underneath your name to be optimized with keywords. You want your summary or that about section to be optimized with keywords and also tell who you are and what you're about. LinkedIn, what's cool is it can be done, and it should be done in first person because it's a networking platform. So you want it to be very conversational. You want it to be approachable. Experience, you want your experience section, at least the first two, or the most recent two to be filled out, and you want to have the right skills. These are, like I said, going to help recruiters find you. Also, too, it may be that you're networking with someone on LinkedIn and they jump over to your profile and you have no picture. Your headline just says, Director of Finance at ABC, and it doesn't tell me anything about, anything that, in ways that you stand out, and you don't have anything in your about section, or it's just like kind of a rehash of your resume. Your experience section, easy for me to say today, has, it doesn't need to be just like copy and paste in your resume. You want it to be a really good complement to your resume so that, like, if I'm looking at your resume, I can jump over and learn a little bit more about you. And let's see. The other thing about LinkedIn, so we talked a little bit about profile, is it is a great place. It's a networking platform. So it is a great place to build your network, to network with other people, with industries that you're interested in. It's also a great place for you to establish your thought leadership. And you should be doing this because if you've been working in your career for 20 years, even 10 years, 15 years, you have thought leadership. You can share with the world new ideas and thoughts that are going to be interesting and helpful to other people. And what this is going to do for you is if you're looking for work, if I'm a recruiter and I come over to your profile and I see that you've made some very interesting posts that's relevant to your industry or relevant to something related to your career, I'm going to be more intrigued to learn more about you. And LinkedIn has all kinds of opportunities for you to do this. So, again, I feel like LinkedIn can be your secret weapon. And I've talked probably more about LinkedIn than I really intended to today. But here's what I'm going to do for you guys is let me drop in to the chat. There is, if you will download your LinkedIn Success Blueprint, this is going to be a step-by-step checklist that's going to help you get started with your profile. Plus, I've attached several of the videos that I've done as well. And you're going to be also supported through the process with email. So grab that. Let me see if I can put that on a banner. I can't remember if I have that here or not. There it is. So it's there too. And so feel free to grab that. I don't see any additional questions. So let's just recap real quick. The 5 reasons you should start now are budget allocations, less competition in the job seeker pool, more networking opportunities. That alone is a great reason, in my opinion. You're in transition of leadership and hiring momentum. And your 3 actions I would encourage you to take. If you are not clear on your next steps, that's the number one thing. I, as a resume writer, my team as a resume writers, it's really hard for me to help you if you don't know what your next steps are, because we tailor our resumes to help you stand out. And so, doing the days of the generalized resume are very outdated. And it's why if you are applying to a lot of places and you're not getting calls, it's probably because your resume is too general or it really leaves the reader confused about what to do with you. And thirdly, okay, clarify. I jumped ahead of myself again. Okay, number 1, clarity on your goals. Number 2, hire and invest in a resume writer and job search strategist. And number 3, optimize your LinkedIn profile. Use the platform strategically to network and demonstrate your thought leadership. So I encourage you to get started with these 3 action steps, and my team and I are here to help you once you do get clarity on that role. And if you want to talk a little bit more about what that would look like for you, let me do this. You can book a complimentary consultation with me here, and I'm going to put that in the chat too. So if you want to, there we go. Sorry. Sometimes it's hard for me to talk and do things at the same time, but it's in the chat, so you can copy and paste that as well. Just jump on my calendar, and I usually spend 35 to 45 minutes with you. We will talk a lot about your specific situation. I will go into a lot more details about resumes, what we do in the resume writing process, what that looks like for you, give you some examples, all that good stuff. We'll talk about the other tools as well, such as job search and interview strategy, as well as things like salary negotiation. So would love to have a consultation with any of you that are interested in learning more. And I hope that you have gained a lot from today's live stream. I feel like this is an important topic. So as always, if you found this episode to be helpful, please share it with your network. And be sure to connect with me on LinkedIn, follow me on YouTube. Both of those platforms have one of those little bells, so make sure you click it. You can get notified anytime I post. Y'all, I tried to share very good content on LinkedIn and not just junk it up with stuff. So feel free to jump into the conversations on any of my posts. Just kind of a secret weapon. It's a great way also for you to grow your network and interact with the other people that are commenting there as well. Again, those are some of the things that I teach. So want to learn more, connect with me and find out. Be sure to download that checklist. Next week, I am so excited. I have a special guest stopping by next week, Michael Cindric. He is a recruiter at Fire Seats. And just a fun side note, he attended the same university, Harding University, as I did just several years later. And actually played football for the Bison. So I'm excited for Michael to join me. And we are going to be talking about all things recruiting. I know this is going to be a great conversation for those of you that are job searching. It's going to be especially helpful. So make sure to join us next Wednesday, 12:30 Central, 1:30 Eastern. And just one more thing. I'd love to know your biggest takeaways. Put it in the comment. And guys, if you are catching the replay on this, use hashtag replay. Let me know. Tag me if you're watching the replay so that I can come back and answer your questions. So hope this has been informative. I look forward to seeing you next week on my next video.